Hello everyone, welcome to Blonde Vibrations. This is Tuning In with Greta Isaac.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
I feel like we will get into Dolly Zoom, but I feel like I have to say it while you're here, like we were such big fans of Dolly Zoom. Like the moment we heard like the first 5 seconds of the first single, we were obsessed. Like, and I'm not just saying that because you're here, like we just, there's something about it that's so like infectious that I was just like, I actually need to listen to this like
Thank you.
forever. Like it's, I don't know what you did to it, but it's like...
It's Dolly, I don't know what she did. She put something in there.
It feels like you know, like a siren song.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like hypnotized me and I actually can't think of anything
Oh my god,
else.
amazing. That's great.
And it's so interesting to be like watching your journey this whole time because you've been releasing music for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And you're from a musical family. So what are your earliest memories of both listening to music and creating music?
Oh my god, literally so early on in my life. Like I think probably my earliest memories was of making music and singing with my family. Like my mum's an amazing like songwriter, and she would we'd be on like long car journeys to like go visit my grandparents in North Wales, and she'd like teach us the 4 or 5 part harmony stuff of like the Beach Boys and be like, we're gonna learn this. And I'd be like, okay, like yeah. So I've got a lot of siblings, so it kind of boded well for her to have a bit of a choir in the car. Yeah, and I guess making music was like always a way of connecting with people closest to me. It was kind of like a language that we could all speak together, and yeah, I'm just so grateful to have had that growing up, you know, because it's really like instilled a joy for music and a love for it that feels kind of everlasting, you know. It's like in my spine now. So
Are all of your siblings musical?
yeah, they're all amazing. They're all amazing singers and have like an amazing ear for harmony and yeah, super talented, and yeah, I love singing with them. That was like my favorite thing growing up, singing with my family and yeah, enjoying music.
I'm so obsessed with the idea of like musical families because my dad is somewhat musical, my brother is not whatsoever. Like I don't even think he listens to music. Like it's crazy to me. But what I've recently been thinking about a lot is like, you know, Ray and her sisters.
Yeah.
You know, because they're obviously supporting on her tour, and they did All Points East together, and I'm just so obsessed with like seeing how different siblings take that like musical gene and like do slightly different things, but also within the same thing. So it's interesting to see it from like down to like being in car journey and how it kind of circles on from there.
Yeah, totally. It can like start from, you know, singing together in the kitchen. Like if I go home and like one person starts singing and we're all in there like cooking or chatting or whatever, everyone will just sort of like erupt into harmony. And it's like, it's so infectious and joyous, you know. It's almost like we can't not do it. It's like kind of like a zone we go into. And then me and my sister will argue about like who's taking the lead and who's taking the harmony. Like it is well funny.
I bet you guys are so fun to go around for dinner. Like it's gonna be Sound of Music. Like everyone's gonna sing goodnight.
I know, people keep singing with one trap, so I'm like, love that. Yeah, I'll take that.
And I guess while we're thinking about the really early starts of you getting into music, I think something else that's interesting in that like decade of making music is how much has also changed like industry wise and also like technology wise. Like I think you do hear it in Dolly Zoom a lot, a bit more like electronic and more like exciting new ways of producing stuff. I'm kind of interested in both technically but also I guess the general like landscape of the music industry. How much do you think has changed from like your first release to now? Do you feel like it's really different, or do you kind of think it's more gradual? Yeah,
totally. I think the way like people consume music is like changing all the time, and it's interesting how that impacts how people create music. But I think the best music just is pretty uncompromising, you know. People are just kind of sticking to their artistry and doing what they feel is right for them, and then it will just like find the right people, you know. But definitely, like I've had so many different sort of phases of making music and different kinds of music. I think at the core of it, it's like always, it's like pop, I guess, with some like folk influences sometimes, some like super pop, some electronic stuff, some like super acoustic like folk music. So yeah, I think for me as an artist, I'm always changing as a person all the time, like how I look, like what kind of stuff I want to make. So I think the art that I'm making is always sort of 2 steps behind how I'm changing as a person, because you know, if your art is the thing that like helps extract certain parts of you out to like look at and explore, I think that's like such a blessing. Yeah.
Do you think it's gotten easier to not define yourself per like genre or box, or do you think it's always been, because I feel like it's more so now than ever, people are kind of cross-genrering more.
Yeah,
getting,
definitely.
like, you know, at its like biggest, like country pop in the past few years. Do you think you've felt that on your level, or do you think you always were just like, I'm just going to do what I want regardless of where I sit?
Yeah, I think I was like super inspired by, like, when I was 15 and started playing guitar, like I was so inspired by like Laura Marling and Ellie Goulding and all these sort of women that were, because I grew up listening to a lot of like older people, so like James Taylor and Joni Mitchell and Rufus Wainwright and that kind of songwriting, like American singer-songwriters, or Canadian actually. 2 of those are Canadian.
Wow.
Yeah, love. Charlotte, Canada. And so yeah, I think when I first started making music, that felt the most sort of accessible to me, because I like could just play guitar and sing, and I was like, obviously, like being a teenager, I had a lot of feelings and wanted to like put them somewhere and digest them. And then once I moved to London, I started like working with more producers, and when you do that collaborative aspect of it like helps bring other aspects of you out. So that's been really fun. But yeah, I think I'm just so up for always evolving and changing as a person, and it just so happens that the art I'm making sort of matches that all the time.
Yeah.
So
I think, like, looking back at your previous projects, do you think that there's like one song or maybe EP that really felt like a turning point?
yeah.
Not necessarily from like, you know, I've made it, but more so that you're making music that's aligned to who you are creatively.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I think every EP I've done feels like that turning point. It feels like kind of getting closer and closer to like who I want to be. But I think I'm always sort of like, we're all always becoming, you know. But I think an EP that I'm really proud of is, I mean, I'm proud of all of them, but I think one that really stuck out to me was I Think You'd Hate It Here from a couple of years ago. That felt like really fulfilling to make, and creatively and visually I loved working on that. But yeah, like Productive Pain as well, that was like the first time in a while that I'd just like gone back to writing on my own. Probably the first set of songs that I'd written on my own since I was like 18 or something. So that was really nice, like being in dialogue with myself and like figuring out some like really deep emotions that only I could have really done on my own.
You've put that in such a nice way, the dialogue with yourself.
Yeah.
I've never heard that phrase before. I really like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what it felt like, you know, just really being like, okay, everybody shut up. Let me just like pull on this thread and just see, just see what comes out. But I'm really proud of Dolly Zoom. I think I keep saying she because she just like feels like a weird like roommate or something that I'm like living with in my head. But yeah, I'm really proud of that, and I think that whole experience of making that record was like, extracting other parts of me. Yeah.
I think what's interesting, and especially the projects that you've mentioned, but also like in your discography as a whole, is I feel like you can really see the layers of who you're talking to, who you're like talking, I guess, from, and something that I guess, I don't know if you count, I guess you would count it as part of your discography, but your work with FIZZ as well, is that when we were kind of thinking about your journey, obviously, for the 4 of you, it feels like FIZZ was almost a bit regenerative, and you could really feel all 4 of you kind of strip back everything, because you were all such distinguished artists and solo artists, and I think what you could really tell and what made the band really work is that you could feel you'd all gone into it completely blank slate, and it was a complete new start for all 4 of you, and you kind of rose separately. And what we were interested in is there like a specific thing from each band member that you learn? You've talked about like collaborating with different producers, but like from each bandmate, what did you learn from that process?
Oh my god, that's such a cute question. Well, I like love all of them so dearly. They've like changed my life in so many ways, like the 3 of them. They're like, oh my god, I love them. Oh my god,
you can really
so
tell
much.
that as well, how much you guys love each other. Like from like the promo, from you guys being on stage, like it's so clear how much love you all have for each other. It's like what you do on stage is like so amazing to watch, but also so like heartwarming. Even when you guys are doing something like silly, you're still sat there like, oh my god, these are four like best friends just like doing what they love.
Oh yeah, like they've truly changed my life, and they're soulmates, you know, for life, like they're family. I think it's interesting because like I've learned so much from them like musically, but also just from like a personhood like angle. Like I've learned so much about myself, and I think similarly to family, like we all mirror certain aspects of ourselves to each other, which I think like you can really grow from. Orla, I would say she has taught me how to trust my instincts. Like she is so good at listening to me sort of be a blubbering mess sometimes and be like, okay, here's the things that we can look at, and like let's look at this together. But like musically, she is so sort of forthcoming, and she has so many amazing ideas. Like she is one of the best songwriters I know. Like she sends me like voice memos and stuff on WhatsApp, and I'm like, how did you come up with that? Like just like on a Wednesday afternoon, you know. So she's an incredible guitarist, and she's so encouraging, and so her ideas are just, they're kind of deeply like emotional sometimes, and then they'll kind of be like funny sometimes. So she like blends that world so well, which is like so part of being like, we keep saying to each other like we're just girls, you know, we're just girls together. So yeah, I think she's taught me how strength and vulnerability can like go hand in hand, and how they both benefit from one another. And then Dodes is just like she's like the coziest, sweetest, like empathetic person, and musically her attention to detail with harmony is like really impressive, and the way that her mind works in that way is like really impressive to watch. And I felt so honoured to be able to arrange harmonies with her for Fizz. Like that was really cool, and I learned so much from her.
It's nice to hear that she is so warm, because I think that radiates through. Like we would have that impression of her without even knowing her. Oh yeah,
she's like a cup of tea. She's like our cat missus. She's like a duvet. She's amazing, like lighting candles. Like that is just all of her. She's so special. And then Martin has taught me so much. Like again, like an incredible songwriter. Like his new album is amazing, and the way that he is able to sort of I guess like move in a space and like know when to like come in and offer ideas. Like when we did As Good As It Gets, he was like, you guys like take this, you know, and he still offered so much amazing like musical value to that song. And we've written so much together through the years, and his lyrics are like, he's like, bleeds poetry. Like he's really incredible songwriter and an amazing friend, you know. Like he's so champions the people around him and wants to like involve everyone in everything he does. So very lucky to have them in my life. That really
brave me asking that, because I'm a words of affirmation girly, and I could have cried that whole time. Like just hearing you talk about them, like I was there like, don't cry.
I need to go and find them now and ask them to sing this song, just to like complete that cycle. So going into Fizz, do you think there was any reservations starting the band, or was it entirely certain from the beginning, this is what has to happen, it's just kismet? How do you feel about going into it?
Yeah, I mean, before it was literally so chill when we first came up with the idea. I can't remember the order of it. I think Pete, the guy who produced the album, Pete Miles, he's incredible, was just like, would you guys just want to like come down and make music and just see what happens down in the studio Middle Farm? And I think also Martin was like, guys, we should just like make music and see what happens. And everyone was just like, yeah, I'm down. Let's just see what it feels like. So we booked the studio for like a week. No expectations whatsoever about what it was going to sound like or what the sort of goal with it was. I think the only goal we had was just let's just see what it sounds like when we all make music together. And it was magic. It was like life-changing, honestly. And I think we really, I don't know, like accessed a new level of depth in that group where we were like, wow, this feels cosmic, you know. And then that whole 2 years happened. It's crazy.
I love hearing how that happened, because that's exactly how it feels. Like it feels like there's parts of all 4 of you in it, but it's also because you've all come together in this mix. It's made something that's so different to everything that all of you made, but also I think different to like what anyone else is making. So I love this idea that it was just, let's see what comes out at the end of it, because that's how it worked perfectly.
Yeah, totally. And we had in Middle Farm, we had so many amazing resources to work with, and I think we had a lot of, we like recorded it pretty much all to tape. We had obviously the 4 of us playing and singing together, and then we had our best friend Matt Swales playing drums, and we had like all these like incredible people around who just wanted to get stuck in and jump in and get involved, and it just meant that the pace of it was really like consistent and pretty fast. So the song, the grand finale, which is the last song on the album, we were basically like writing and recording it in sections as we went along. So there was no time to like overthink any ideas. And I think also doing everything pretty much analog and like using real instruments and everything to tape, you in a different sense to something maybe more like pop or electronic, where you have loads of plugins and loads of like screen time to like there's so much open-ended stuff that you could do that it can sometimes feel a little overwhelming. So like being in a space where you're kind of restricted in a way with only being able to use the stuff that's around you, it just really like tapped into all the kinds of music that we loved growing up, and like how all of our different influences sort of like threading together. And it was just all about singing. Like that was like the core of it, and harmony and singing together. And then we just kind of, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. Yeah, I love it.
I wish I could like get a time machine and just sit in the corner and just watch it all unfold. I'd love to see that.
There's definitely a Dropbox folder somewhere of like all the videos like Dodie took of that whole time. It's like pretty well documented.
Sorry if we hack you. To release the tapes.
It's very Dolly Zoom of you. I love that.
Please, like, make a documentary. I
so agree with what you said about it all seems so like free, but also at the same time, both you individually and as a band, everything seems so intentional in eras and projects, and it's clear how much you commit to the creative moment. Last year, Fizz said, keep the lights on in Fizzville. So we have to ask, is the rent still being paid? Do you think there might be a part 2 coming soon?
I love that. That is so slay. Is the rent still being paid?
Right now, it was like,
It originally was like, are the bills still being paid? And we were like, that doesn't have to say. That doesn't sound right.
That's so funny. I mean, I would love to. Like at some point, when we're all pretty busy, like we're all doing our own projects, and I think it's like necessary for us all to like really nourish those different parts of our projects. Like Dodie's doing like a second album, Ola's just finished her second album, finished touring and stuff, and Martin's doing his second album. So like I think maybe one day. Who knows?
I don't think you could force it. I don't think. Like, we would love to force it. We'd love to force the 4 of you in a room and be like, go on, like, pay the rent. But I think it's right that you take your time. If you had to add one extra person into Fizz, who would you add?
Oh my God, that's such a good question.
Like, if we were, I'm picturing it as like Sims. Like, if I'm adding an extra person to the family, who are you adding?
Oh my God. I mean, probably someone really friggin' wacky. Who could it be? I mean, like Willy Wonka, I think would really do a good job.
Which Willy Wonka?
the original one.
So you're not bringing like Timothy Chalamet into the mix?
Oh yeah, maybe
but you could
not.
Get Timothy Chalamet, Willy Wonka meets Bob Dylan.
That would actually. That is maybe Timothy Chalamet is like the intersection of Fizz.
You've hit such like a sweet spot of my hyperfixation here. You have no idea.
Wow. Actually, that is so true. Fizz is Bob Dylan and Willy Wonka.
That's a sentence that's never been said before.
That's so funny.
Like that FIZZ group chat gonna go crazy after this interview. Like, did you guys have a thing that we kind of give Timothy Chalamet?
That's so good. But it's funny because with FIZZ we have so many like extended people who like made that project like such a joy. Like Matt Swales, who played drums on the whole thing, like he's definitely an honorary 5th member. Pete Miles, who produced it, honorary 6th member. Soren, who did so many BVs and sang on As Good As It Gets with us and did a lot of the engineering and produced You Me Lonely. Like she is such a part of that whole thing. Izzy, who came on tour with us, and he also played on some stuff and played at the live sessions. So there's, you know, it like takes a village. Like there's definitely so many people who I'm so thankful for. We got to work with them on that project. So yeah, so many good people.
So Timmy's the 10th member, right?
Yeah.
The 5th member.
Yeah,
like maybe
yeah.
we lower his ranking a little bit.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a feature. Like
Yeah.
So funny.
So funny. I love that. If you're watching this, please.
I have so much like Wonka like lore that I need to tell you after this. Like you saying Willy Wonka, I was so like
Save it.
I can't bring this onto the podcast.
Oh my god, hilarious.
So we're going to go on to the agony aunt section. We've got 2 questions submitted by your listeners.
Okay.
Try. If it's not great advice, that's fine. Give it a go and we'll see.
Your listeners had really unique submissions.
Okay.
Like it was
my
really
God.
like I don't know what's going on in your fan base, but I like wish them a very like peaceful life.
I love them. Okay, great.
So good luck, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Me and my ex had the same taste in music, including yours. It's a big part of what drew us together, but he fell out of love with me. It was the worst breakup of my life, and I keep missing gigs because I'm scared of seeing him and what it will do to my emotions. How do I reclaim music as my own when I analysed every lyric with him?
Oh my god. God, that's just like stabbed me in the heart.
How have we gone from Wonka to this?
There's a real change of vibe in the room.
Oh my god. Okay, can you repeat the last bit of the question?
How do I reclaim music as my own when I analyse every lyric with him?
Oh, wow.
That was more sad to read out loud as well than just reading it in my head.
I so relate to this. I mean, I think that's what's so great about music is that it evolves as you're evolving as a person. Like not only I can listen to one album when I was like 10 years old and it's like completely changed now for me. So I think it can, in the same way how like a person can be in your life and you can read those lyrics together with that person, now them not being in your life anymore, you can like reclaim it as your own by the very fact that they're not in your life anymore and how that changes for you. I feel like whenever you feel sad, just like feel it to the fullest extent, I think, because we're so quick to like apply logic to things and to try and see the function in pain and try and like kind of jump over the very necessary bit in the middle, which is just to like feel it so fully. So I would say for that person just to keep listening to the songs that you listen to together and like embrace how different it feels. I would say just like get in your feels and really like dig through the soil of that, and also discover new music that sort of aligns with who you are at this point in your life and let that be yours and no one else's, you know. Oh, I want to give them a hug. I so relate to that feeling. Yeah.
At a certain point I do feel like it won't help in this moment, but at a certain point you'll look at a song and be like, God, that song used to make me feel so sad, or like, oh, that song used to really hit me. Like I had it the other day that I listened to Sling by Clairo for the first time this autumn, and I was like, oh, when this came out, like this song was like cut me deep, and then I was like, I can listen to this and I can always feel the emotion like almost like through a window without actually feeling it like to my core. And I think that's really satisfying. I think that would get me through feeling sad listening to a song, really like fresh raw wound, knowing that eventually you'll look at it and just be like, that did hurt, and like how interesting that I can listen to that song and still feel that, but without like the initial
It's just
sting,
time, isn't it?
which feels really weird to say. But
Yeah, I used to cry listening to "I Will Wait" by Mumford and Sons, like because that just made me think about someone in my past, and now I listen to it and I'm like,
love that
song. But at the time it was, God, I can't even get through this whole song. This is awful. So it's just time.
Yeah, I also think what's really interesting. There's a song called "The Hammond Song" by three sisters called the Roaches, and if you get a chance to listen to it, oh my god, it's amazing. But I remember listening to that years ago and being like, wow, this is so cute and cool, and like feeling so moved by it. And then fast forward a couple of years and life happens and things change. I listen to it again and I'm like, wow, it feels cosmic that song was sort of quietly sort of humming in the background of my life, and then all of a sudden it's like reintroduced to you in this new context, and you're like, wow, you were kind of, it feels like a little door ajar with light spilling through it that's like, I'm here when you're ready to listen to this, like really listen to this, you know. So just that those same songs that listener like listen to with their partner will change depending on the context of their life. So
I think
excited
it's
for
so
them.
magical, the life cycle of songs. Like that is so like, I don't understand how, like I obviously do, but like there's something like stardusty that means that song is like changed with you, but it's exactly the same as when you first listened to it. Like I just think it's like,
it's amazing.
The song hasn't changed, but you have.
Yeah, oh my god, I think it's so curious. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, second dilemma. I think I'm in love with my roommate.
God.
You didn't submit this.
I just have to say, because we're roommates, we told you, flatmates, we told you that before, like, I didn't write this.
Like the moment you just said it, like you knew everyone was like, wait.
So, I think I'm in love with my roommate. We're both queer women, and I kind of had a crush on her before we moved in together, but now we're getting closer as friends, and I don't know what to do. Shall I risk it and tell her, or move on?
Wow. Oh, I mean, I'm a bloody romantic. I love love, and I love the different forms of love and the different forms of love that like changes as you grow as a person. I mean, I would be like, just tell her how you feel, because
that makes me feel nervous.
Yeah.
Even you just saying that, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
but that's
just
scary.
Don't take the advice, Eliz.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, trust. I think people know whether or not they should like confess their love to someone that they care about. There's always like a gut instinct that I think you should tap into. But I'm definitely like, just see what happens. Like, it could be beautiful. And also, I think if you're really good friends, like, you'll find a way to make it work if it's not reciprocated, hopefully, depending on the people. But I'm just like, yeah, do it. Why not? I love a bleeding heart.
Do you think you can come back from that? If I don't want to say you actually, because it's making me feel like I'm making you do this. If the person says to their roommate, oh, I actually like, I'm in love with you. And then the roommate's like, oh, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that like one can come back from that?
I guess it's a risk, isn't it? I guess it is a risk. And like, yeah, I think make sure that you've got like a support network around you if it doesn't go the way that you thought it would, maybe. But who knows?
It's just good to know an answer either way.
Yeah.
Because if you're just leaving it there, like, lingering, the answer is no.
If you're
Whereas
like pining, if you're pining for someone, oh yeah, oh god, pining is like the yearning. Yeah, I think maybe just like suss it out, see what it's like for a bit, and then if it feels right, trust your gut, I would say.
So if you're hiding these like feelings inside, then you can't be that happy as it is right now. If you're asking for help, you can't be that happy. So at least it might work out in your favour and you'll be happier, or you'll know your answer, you can start to move on, and then in the end you'll be happier as well.
I've been a big fan of the like, I want to know that I've done everything I can.
Yeah.
Like I had like a situation I was like, I kept giving chances, and I was like, I can like, as long as I've done everything I can and I've given it all the olive branches I have, I can never look back on that and be like, what if? Because I just like, over the past couple of years, I just got this like huge like hatred for the what if of like, what if like they're thinking the same thing, and I'm giving signals that are giving something else. And I think that finding peace and being like, I would rather try everything and have it fail than not try it all is like crazy. It's horrific, like
scary.
absolute nightmare, but also like it was a real frontal lobe moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I'd rather embarrass myself than not do something. And that's like sickening.
I think it's good to always be like in motion with emotions, you know, because it's the worst when you feel stuck. So, I'm excited. I wonder how that'll go.
Please reach back out if you do these things. What happens?
Yeah, but then if it goes wrong, like, we are to blame.
Well, then we can, you know, give you some nice songs to help you get some recommendations.
Depending on how well it went, it'll either be Dolly Zoom or Productive Pain. So you got options.
It's giving, you know, the quizzes you used to get in like teen magazines, being like, did they say yes? You listen to this. You said no.
Well, I think you did very well with that advice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So I guess partially your advice there was Dolly Zoom, but I think it's time to give her time to shine, as it's the most recent thing, but also like just obsessed, as we've made it very clear. And you are saying she, which I love because it set up this question, is that like at the beginning of the era we see her like fully take over like your platforms, like we are introduced to her through the singles, and she really does feel like a fully realised three-dimensional character, and I think you've done that like perfectly. Like I think it's so flawless. Like I feel like she could walk into the room. Like that's how well you've done it. And again, you've kind of set up for this question, but a lot of creatives, especially when they come on the podcast, talk about like on-stage personas and like musical personas, and even to a certain extent, like we've got like podcast personas that we like joke if we have to be like outgoing, we're like, oh, we'll just be blonde vibrations for a second. And at what point did you feel like Dolly Zoom was present? Because you've called her your roommate, is that what you said?
Yeah, my like weird roommate.
Yeah, like at what point did she kind of appear? Was she always with you, or was she like, has she evolved through your career, or I guess even life?
Yeah, I think, oh my God, that's such a good question. I mean, I think what's interesting about Dolly Zoom is like the way that I imagine her is I'm like in my room, post-productive pain, crying, and she's sort of like knocking down at the door, being like, it's done, like we're done being sad, like let me take you on this ride, you know? Like vape in hand, baseball bat maybe, a crazy car.
Perhaps a bag full of vapes ready.
Definitely, a huge, like a suitcase ready to go. And I think she was born out of a place of feeling restricted in my identity and the kind of sort of woman I wanted to be, and I knew that I had all of this energy that needed to go somewhere, you know, and I think she became this part of myself that wasn't scared to be loud and be brash and to not feel to be like I can literally be whoever I want, and you don't get to tell me who that person is except for me. So she became this like character to me that was like personified through all the kind of based in fear about who I was and who I wanted to be, and the sort of clothes I wanted to wear, and she was just like, let's just fucking do it, you know. So she kind of metaphorically grabbed me by the hand and kind of took me on this journey that is that EP. But I think also she's kind of like I don't know if I hate her or love her, you know. She's kind of will just do whatever the fuck she wants, and sometimes that can get destructive. Like I think too much of like a good thing, or too much of an exciting thing at least, is still it still needs to be kept at bay somewhat. So even though she's a hoot, she does also need to chill out. I think, which I'm so happy that this EP got to like explode and like do that thing. But I guess I kind of imagine her sort of retreating back to her little grave with like this gravestone adorned with like worms and vape stickers, and she's just like, I'm gonna head, but I'll be back, you know. Yeah.
You did that, so like your brain is so strong, because everything that you just described, you can really feel it in the EP. Like again, I'm not just like blowing smoke, like that is exactly how it feels, like even down to like her knocking on the door and letting yourself in, like it's like that's exactly what you did.
That she has arrived.
Yeah, and I think like what you did really well is that like I think regardless of how much people knew you before or how much that kind of music they listened to before, I think that translates so like cross-sectionally that like I just love it. Like it's really great. Did that kind of sensation of like, this is who I aspire to be, this is the kind of woman, did that come before you were thinking like, I want to write about this? Do you know what I mean? Like what came first, I guess, the vision of this being a project or her joining you, I guess? I think
I've always written about like this pursuit for truth and like pursuit for like figuring out who I am and being in relation to other people, like, and womanhood and like figuring out things all the time. Like that was always something that I wrote about, and it felt like Dolly was the sort of antidote to that. She was like, this is what you're trying to figure out. So that was interesting. But yeah, I worked with so many amazing people on this EP, so many good friends, and like Mark Elliott, who produced Movie Star with Dan Bartlett, who exec produced the whole thing, and Martin wrote Soft Scoop with me and Villain, and Matt Zara, also incredible songwriter and producer, and July Jones, who's amazing. We did Car Crash together with Dan. And then all the visual stuff, I collaborated with my friend Karina, who's documented me through so many different parts of my life and my career, and we sort of built Dolly together, and kind of, she's an incredible creative person. Like, she is an incredible photographer, and her attention to detail with stuff is crazy, and so we got to build that together. It's just such a privilege to be able to like bring this idea to people and be like, I want to do an alter ego thing, and then people being like, okay, let's do it, you know. So, and
you didn't do it in a half either, like you did it like fully. Like,
as Dolly would.
You couldn't have half done that, I feel.
Do you see Dolly as a specific star sign? Could you give one to her?
Oh my god, this is such a good question. I mean, probably like a Cancer, maybe. She is a Taurus, though, I think, in her stubbornness. What do you guys think?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I wasn't prepared for that. No, I'm not sure. I was going to let you choose, actually.
I would love to agree about Taurus, because I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, so, like, do you see Taurus?
So, like, I love that. As soon as you said that, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But then what are you?
I like Cancer. Like, I do think that does work as well, because it's that, like, fluidity as well that I think she has.
Yeah. What's your star sign? Is it very different?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe it's like Taurus rising, Taurus moon, and Taurus fucking sun. Do you know what I mean? She is just stubborn and like full throttle and loves like pleasure and comfort and vaping and will just, once her mind changes, it changes like skirt.
So in that theory, do you know what I'm about to say?
I know what you're about to say.
Who else is a triple Taurus? Robert Pattinson.
Really? Oh my god!
So you're kind of seeing two very different sides of the same coin there.
Dolly Zoom would love to know that she is Robert Pattinson. Like, I think like she would just be like,
Oh my god. Yeah, that's so true. Oh yeah, Edward Cullen for sure.
Yeah.
She is so Edward Cullen.
I think I'd like, in the same vein as like I'd like to see a FIZZ documentary, I'd like to put Dolly Zoom and Robert Pattinson in the room in front of a camera and be like, okay, talk. I have no idea what it's going to be,
that's so
but
funny.
I know I'm going to like lock it in.
That feels like two go into the room but only one comes out alive. Like fight amongst yourselves but one of you makes it.
Oh, Dolly. Dolly's making it. Like, sorry, Suki Waterhouse.
That's so funny.
So over the past few years, I know we have actually touched on this a little bit earlier, but we've seen fan bases, not so much yours, but some fan bases, grapple when an artist like shifts drastically from era to era. So we've seen it with Damiano from Måneskin. When the band went on hiatus, he went from rock to pop, and it felt abrasive to a lot of people. But then at the same time, artists are criticised for staying too safe and having similar sounding projects like Sabrina with Short and Sweet and Man's Best Friend, and then also Dua Lipa. What advice would you give to artists trying to find that balance between creating for themselves and for the fans who are waiting for that next release? How do you kind of personally tune out external pressures when working on something that's ultimately personal to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, like, it's definitely tricky, and I think, I think, like, creative consistency is, like, really important, you know? But I guess it's, like, finding out what the lineage is between all the stuff that you make. Like, for me, like, storytelling is, like, the number one thing, and there's always, like, a world surrounding each project that I do. And so I think for me, the point of all my projects are that they're so different from one another. And that's, I feel like maybe that's what's consistent throughout them, is that they are inconsistent, and it's like another chapter. And it keeps it exciting for me, you know, I also trust my listeners to also be expansive people who enjoy different kinds of music, you know. So I think artists should just trust themselves and follow what feels good for them at that point in their life. But yeah, and then some people want to extend that like sonic consistency through multiple different albums, you know. So it's just what feels good to you, you know. I would say. I
think the digital world is just exaggerated that so much, you know, like, because it's like there's constant discourse about everything ever. Yeah. It's like, realistically, if someone went from making a rock to pop album like even like 7 years ago, people would probably be like, whoa. Yeah. But because there's such an echo chamber online, it's like all of a sudden, if one person goes, oh, don't you think that's a bit weird that like you've gone from like rock to like bubblegum pop, then everyone's going to start talking about it because it's a conversation.
All of a sudden it's like, oh, which one's authentic to you then? Right. And they kind of start to ignore that you can have multiple sides to the same person and different interests at different points.
Yeah, because I don't believe that there is a genre that is true to a person. Like, I guess you don't feel that because you're so cross-genre. Yeah. Like, I don't believe that like one person is like born as a creative and like, okay, I am a pop artist and that is my sole genre and that's what I'm ever going to do. Like, I guess, I don't know. I'm just curious. Yeah. And as we kind of sadly, I guess, like wrap up, and you did mention Dolly's grave. Yeah. I guess I'm interested in, like, while we're thinking about different eras for you, are you like nervous to move on to the next step? Like, does it feel weird to kind of have her had like picked you up, given you this, and then she's kind of faded away? Like, do you feel like you have to almost do like what you did with Fizz in the sense of scrapping everything, starting again, or do you feel like the step actually is coming more naturally? How do you find that transition between eras?
Well, I think Dolly's always going to be there, like a little whisper in the back of my mind. And it'll be interesting, sort of like opening the door to see her and seeing what aspects of her I want to continue with as I like write more music and stuff. But I definitely see her sort of bashing down the door every year in some way, you know. And I'm excited about what bits of, in the same way, like what bits of Fizz, the things that I learned from Fizz and how that carries into the music that I do now, and the whole experience with DOLLY ZOOM and how that kind of influences what I make now. But I think what's exciting to me is whatever the next thing is, it's like an accumulation of all of that stuff. Like, this has been the most like exciting scrapbook of my life, and just so many different elements have like threaded its way in, and I think the next thing feels like it could be like a really amazing accumulation of all of those things in some way, which would sound crazy. It would sound crazy, but yeah, I'm excited.
I really like the way you take everything on, and it feels like you like put each element of everything into like a backpack that you just carry around, and you see it even in your advice where you were like songs might be sad, but then you move on with that and you hold that to you. I really like that it really feels like you truly accept everything, and that's really refreshing, because I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like things need to be clear cut. Yeah. But you somehow manage to have clean cut while still carrying everything through. That's really
Thanks,
refreshing.
Cute.
I'm getting to an emotional
Thank
part
you.
of the episode.
Yeah, I'm like on the brink of tears. There's
There's something about the studio I get in here, and I'm like, yeah, I am actually just going to psychoanalyze you, maybe cry,
Yeah, I love
and
it.
maybe gush about Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
When you said psychoanalyze, I was going to say, well, there's the PhD coming out, and then gushing about Timothy Chalamet. I was like,
Lost
maybe
it.
it's
We
not
lost
really
it.
the same point.
Yeah.
And so finally, who do you nominate for tuning in?
Oh, well, there's an amazing artist and such a good friend. Her name's Twist, TWST. Her vocal ability is crazy. Her her lyrics are incredible. Like this whole like sonic soundscape of her project is incredible, and she's an incredible producer as well. She's like amazing and so talented and an amazing performer. So Twist for sure, and then Honan Ford as well, who's a like genius, like really amazing, like harmonic brain. She writes the most like sensitive, gentle, but the way that the musicality of it just like takes you on this incredible journey. So she's super talented, and if you get to see her live, it's mostly just her and a piano or her and a guitar, and I'm literally like so in awe of her. So yeah, Honan Ford and Twist, very very different artists, but both lovely people who make amazing music.
That makes sense for you, that you've gone for two like different, like it feels like they come together to be a whole.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
They're amazing.
Amazing. Thank you
Yay!
so much.
We did it.
This was so like amazing. It just felt like you were just the perfect human.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Thank you guys for having me. You guys
okay.
you guys ask such good questions.
Thank you.
I was like nearly crying.
Bye.